Okay, so the last step is going to be to tape the print or piece into the window mat. So I always like to just check and make sure that everything went well, that it's going to fit okay, that the window is not too big for the print or piece. And then what I do next is I go ahead and I put the mat over to the side. I take the piece and I put it face down. On the back, I'm just going to take a piece of tape, like about 3 inches, and just put it so half of the tape is on the piece and the other half is not. I flip it back over. And then just remember, you always want the bigger section of the window mat at the bottom. That's really, really important. You don't want to tape it with the big part anywhere else, which would be the top most likely, because you'll end up having to take it out and retape it. So just make sure that the bigger section, that extra ½ inch that we added at the bottom, is at the bottom. Okay, and then I like to just kind of, carefully place it, looking at what's being maybe cropped out a little bit, making sure that it's lined up straight. And then once I'm happy, I'll just put it down and then I'll just push right where that tape is. After that, you can flip it back over, seal that down, and then I'm going to tape the rest of the perimeter of the piece. And so this is the point where you can start to pull bigger pieces of tape off that are the full size of the piece. And I always like to go to the opposite side first. So that way I can kind of pull that straight across to make sure that it's going to be taped in nice and flat and there's not going to be a bellow there. And then something that I forgot to mention that you always want to make sure is the case, that you're not taping the mat backwards over the print. So you'll notice that the pencil lines are on the back and that the front has the nice beveled edge. So just keep an eye on that to make sure that you're taping it in the correct place. And then up here, I'm going to go ahead and tape the rest of the top here. So I just want to point out bigger section at the bottom, and you can see the nice like 45-degree angle of the bevel edge is going inward like that. Pencil lines are on the back, nice clean front. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the leftover piece from the window and I'm going to tape that onto the back. And that's just helpful in that it kind of makes it stronger. You don't have to worry as much about your piece not having kind of a sturdy backing on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and tape the back of this on here. Okay, and then I would just make sure that you take a good look at the window and the outer border of the mat, and just make sure if there is anything that needs to be cleaned up, like you've got some pencil smudges on there, that you make sure and go ahead and just erase that and clean it up really nice. Again, you want this to really accentuate and look professional and really help the piece look at its best. You don't want to have anything that's distracting from it. And so that's why all the steps of this process are really, really important, because this is the finishing touch. This is it. Okay.